the refresh token process. So once someone's logged in once to 0 and we've captured an access token and a refresh token, we start within Bubble a job that continually refreshes the token every time we know it's about to expire. So we know 0 tokens last 30 minutes. So in the backend workflows, the first time when we process the token, so this is the very first time they log in for a new token, we schedule a 0 refresh token, and we do it every 25 minutes. And so every 25 minutes we'll schedule this to run, and we call this refresh token with the refresh token, and what that will do is it will send a request off to 0, which will make it come back in through the 0 auth redirect page, and that will update our access tokens. So, and then that schedules it to run again. So you come in, you first log in, you come in here, you schedule this, and then it will continue around and round. And what you see that in the logs, you'll see this in the logs. You'll be able to see this job running in the scheduled workflows. So depending on how you design your setup of your workflows, you may have more than one. So it's entirely possible to use this plugin to build a multi-tenant app, because you can just basically, you could have multiple Bubble users with their own 0 authentication tokens in this app. So in this case, it's a very simple demo app. It's designed so that we can show how you'd have one 0 authentication token being managed, but there's no reason why you couldn't design this to be a multi-tenant one, saying, well, if a user belongs to a certain company, then they're going to use these tokens, and if this user belongs to another company, then they're going to use those tokens, and those tokens get attached to by the tenanting. So you could have the problem is you have tenanting. You could have sort of a SaaS application, SaaS Bubble app. We have multiple customers, and you can call that tenanting. So you could have a multi-tenanted Bubble app, but separately, a little bit confusing. Each of those Bubble users who have a 0 account, that 0 account, 0 itself has a concept of tenanting. So it's a little bit confusing, but long story short, what I'm saying is that though we've got one token in here for this Bubble app, we could have been managing multiple tokens with multiple refresh processes in here, because we could, our Bubble app could be a SaaS app with multiple companies dealing with multiple 0 accounts. So I would say that there's a lot of controls you would probably want to put around this to check that people, once they log in, you delete out, you clear out any old entries. So if someone logs in again, you clear out these old entries. There's good reasons why you want to do that, because if you change the scopes, if you want to increase the scope of a authentication token, that authentication, you have to log in again to get permissions to the new access token needs to be logged in again, so that the user who logged into 0 has granted permissions for that access token, those increased scope permissions. So one thing to do is to go in here and you can just check this process is running. What I do is I keep a count on this, and you'll see a number of times refreshed. Hasn't refreshed yet, but I've seen this number go up to thousands. So this process will run continually for a long time.